I coached in college at all these different levels: Division III, FCS, Group of Five, Power Five. I coached in the National Football League. And in each place, you acquire talent differently. Some you might draft or sign free agents. Obviously, at this level, we recruit walk-ons. At the high school level, many times you're getting whoever's walking down the halls, but the greatest high school coaches that I've been around are the ones that are walking the halls themselves and finding that kid that, hey, maybe he's playing basketball, but can also play football, or finding that track athlete. So all of us are in a race to acquire as much talent as possible. But the second point that I think is really, really important is it's the ability to see talent where others can't. I was really, really excited to watch the Super Bowl this year. The Philadelphia Eagles had two players that I coached in college, Hassan Reddick and Sean Bradley. And both were drafted. Hassan was a first-round draft pick of the Arizona Cardinals. Sean was a later draft pick. I can't remember what round of the Philadelphia Eagles. But both kids, when their high school careers were up and they had their high school signing day, neither kid signed a scholarship to go off and play football. Hassan was a walk-on who came to Temple as a defensive back, eventually becoming an outside linebacker. And finally, we made him an edge player, a pass rusher. And Sean was a kid that when we were out in the spring and had an extra scholarship, someone brought up, was a fast kid, was a high school tailback, and no one gave him a shot. And so for me, as they came there, we saw a talent, one or two things about them that maybe other people didn't see. But even more importantly, once they got there, we changed their positions. We moved Sean from running back to linebacker. Hassan, we moved him, as I said, from secondary to outside backer to defensive end. And I really think that is the key of coaching. Like so many coaches, they just want to put their kids in a box and say, hey, man, he can't play. He ain't good enough. If there's one rule in our program, it's never, ever tell me what a kid can't do. And see talent where others can't. Then we can look at each player and we can say, hey, what's our vision for you? What's our vision for you? And maybe we're not sitting there saying, hey, you're going to play or you're not going to play, but our job is to give each kid, like here at Nebraska right now, I'm trying to tell our coaches to look at each kid and say, hey, this is your best chance to play. These are the things that you can do. These are the attributes that you have. These are the things that you maybe have to develop and overcome, but finding a role for every kid. And so while a kid might only ever be the third string, F tight end, like his best chance to play is to be an F tight end. And I have to look at each kid and not see them for what they are, but man, I got to see them for what they can be in 2 or 3 years. On my phone, I keep notes from my first year as a head coach at Temple. And one of the things I'm probably least proud of is some of those kids that went on and got drafted and won championships for me. I wrote down like he'll be a career backup or he can't do this and he can't do that. Like as a young coach, man, I was always looking at guys and saying like, what can't they do? But as my kids got older, man, I don't want my kids getting coached or taught by someone who only sees what they can't do. Like, we got to be real. I'm not like some helicopter parent. Like, I want people to keep it real with my kids, but I want them to see the special talents that my kids have. And I want them to find a vision for them to give those kids hope. Like, when kids have hope, they're going to fight for you. When kids feel hopeless, man, that you have no chance. The results don't matter.